All right, plenty reactions as people don't they criticize Amaechi comment say why he go they call people say make them criticize bad governance say when in the power waiting him fit do, was he able to do anything? Plenty reactions and plenty comments. Amaechi, according to him, said he was radical, that he didn't take nonsense from the federal government and all of that. That he should go and check his track record. That when he was in the government, that he challenged a lot of things. That well, people don't call us say Amaechi no do anything. Where I go allow you make you hear waiting RUFAI and ABBATI talk about Amaechi government and waiting Amaechi they actually try to talk where people they react about. Well, don't forget to share your opinion on the comment sections respectively. I beg do well to subscribe to this channel if you never follow us so that we're going to bring you updates as they happen. And they come back.
A former Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amaechi, has criticized governors under the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Well, according to him, when he was chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, he was radical enough to challenge the government of the day. He blamed governors for not confronting President Tinubu over the current state of the nation. Amaechi made the comments during the book launch of Sule Lamido, a former governor of Jigawa State. Amaechi also narrated how he and Lamido worked against the second-term ambition of former President Goodluck Jonathan. Well, let's take a look before we come back for a discussion.
We were quite good friends when we were in government. We had our bad times that we disagreed. I made the mistake of assuming that he was as radical as I was. So he was one of the governors I clinged to when it came to radical decisions. And I will tell you one of the things. There were several things that happened in the course of our friendship. The last one, before we broke ranks, was that we agreed, all of us agreed to go against President Goodluck Jonathan. And we formed a committee, governors and all that. At the end of the day, he was to find a new party called SDP. We said if we go to the new party called SDP, we'll lose the election. Let's hang on to this one called APC. He disagreed and he left us. That's the only place we disagreed. I thank you for the fact that you spoiled a lot of my decisions as Governors Forum chairman. Because yes, you are radical. You thought you were not as radical as we were. But we discussed Nigeria in detail and we thought we should move forward as a country. I asked you this morning, what is going on currently now in Nigerian politics? Could it have happened when we were governor? The answer is no. And you said no. We will confront the government. We will confront the president. You know that. That's how radical we were. That's how our Governors Forum was. That's how determined we were to change things. But I don't have to be forgetting that. I wish you the best. I will make my contribution to you privately as two radicals. I shall announce it. No, they will think I have money. God bless you.
All right, RUFAI, I'm going to bring you into this conversation. Rotimi Amaechi there. It was during the book launch of Sule Lamido, Being True to Myself. I believe that's the title of the book. And right there, he's talking about, him being radical and, the government of the day or the governors of the day are not challenging this current administration. A lot of Nigerians have said, is this really true? I mean, we know that the PDP governors have challenged President Tinubu's emergency rule at the Supreme Court at the moment. And some comments that I have seen, people are saying, Rotimi Amaechi, you are one of the problems of Nigeria. Over to you.
I mean, a lot of people can say everything they want to say about Rotimi Amaechi. Yes, he has his own faults. Please, I'm not going to deny that. But for him to say that governors today are not challenging, I don't think so. I know of Governor Dauda, for instance, was somebody that when I interviewed him, he said boldly that it was against state of emergency rule. I've interviewed many other governors that can't own up and criticize President Tinubu on state of emergency rule. But Governor Dauda said, I challenge it and that's why I'm going to court. And there are many other instances he has constantly challenged the status quo. But, for other governors out there that are constantly decamping and they say because they've decamped, they can't challenge the incumbents, the truth has to be said. See, Nigeria is for all of us. Nigeria is more than President Tinubu. The earlier we realize it, the better it is for all of us. The day we realize that you as a state governor at this point in time, if the presidents have done something wrong, it is for you to call a spade because you are doing it in the interest of the nation. If you don't do, the nation will not move forward and posterity will judge you. The better for all of us. What I expect some of these governors to do is that, apart from the fact, I know some of them, their hands are tied because of their aligning for 2027 when they're decamping, is to be able to ask due questions. Take, for instance, I've not seen as many governors also come out to challenge the president on this idea of going to London for a press conference to show the achievements of President Tinubu. The question is it the achievement of hunger and poverty and the killing of our valiant soldiers by this faceless terrorist group is going to show in London? Why do you need to go to London? You have ministerial briefings every time there. Is that not a show of achievement alone?
All right, Rufai, I mean, you have just made the point there. And, you know, it takes me to my next story, which you have just mentioned now. Meanwhile, top government officials, including the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, and Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, are heading to London to unveil the achievements of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration at an international press conference, eliciting a wave of reactions. The event, which is scheduled for Friday, June 27th, will serve as a platform for ministers and agency heads to highlight key accomplishments over the past 2 years. Well, let's take some reactions. This is from Ben, who wrote, "They leave Nigeria to contribute to the already thriving 5th largest economy in the world, yet just last week they were preaching Nigeria first. It's clear they are completely out of touch. I suppose next, Keir Starmer will relocate his entire team to Abuja because clearly they have no real concern for the country they claim to lead." Well, Chigozie wrote, "Tinubu's ministers flying to London to showcase achievements is peak hypocrisy. If your work truly speaks, why run abroad to seek validation? Nigerians are hungry, angry, and broke. Fix that first. This regime spends more on image than impact." Dr. Abbati, over to you.
Okay, first, let me deal with the statement by Governor Rotimi Amaechi, because I was in government during the period that he was talking about, and, you know, as a witness to history. Now, he's saying that they were very radical during their time,
yes.
And Governor Sule Lamido, as he then was also very radical, and they were always challenging the Jonathan administration. This should be put in context. What I recall was that at that time, with Governor Rotimi Amaechi, as he then was, as chairman of the Governors Forum, he was leading the rebellion against the federal government for the sharing of the excess crude account. Excess crude account was, you know, saving money for the raining day. And Dr. Konje-Iweala was coordinating minister of the economy at that time. The first rebellion that he led was to say, look, this process should be for the federation account. Just let us share the money. I think they succeeded at the end of the day. So the radicalism is that of governors confronting the president of Nigeria. Of course, when he wanted to get a second term as governor of chairman of the Governors Forum, of course, the presidency did not support Governor Amaechi because he had over-radicalized the Governors Forum against the federal government. Now, maybe that's what he's talking about opposing, challenging the authority of the president of Nigeria. Now, another incident that I recall is that, look, that second term, I think there was division, 16 to 19 or so, with Governor Jang leading one faction, with Governor Amaechi leading another faction at that time. In other words, due to, you know, differences on what should be done with funds, there was, of course, a disagreement between the presidency and the governors. As for Governor Sule Lamido, as he then was, the confrontation that Governor Amaechi, as he then was, may well be talking about, was that during the Jonathan presidency, one of Governor Alhaji Sule Lamido's sons was arrested at the airport for not declaring the forex exchange that was on him. I think it was about $50,000, whereas you are not allowed to carry more than $10,000. Now, Governor Lamido then, you know, felt that this was embarrassing, that the son of the governor should not be treated in this manner. Of course, till that government came to the end, he was not on good terms, more or less, with President Jonathan. So these things must be put in context. Now, radicalism that requires governors to be confronting the federal government, you know, is that what is being recommended? The second thing is that, apart from the president, it's not the president alone that constitutes this democracy. what of the governors and their own responsibilities? All these governors that are serving under President Tinubu now, okay, even if they say they have moral right to confront the president, how responsible are they themselves? Many of these governors should be challenged on a daily basis by the House of Assembly. So that's that about that. But I've congratulated Alhaji Sule Lamido on the publication of his autobiography. I've read out his profile. He's an accomplished politician. There's no doubt about that. But to say attacking the president is a virtue, has to be properly contextualized. Now, on the issue of going to London, roadshow, where it looks like a jamboree. Yeah. When you look at all the persons involved, they are going with the Minister of Interior, they are going with Minister of the FCT, they are going with NUPRC CEO, the CEO of the Mortgage Bank, the Federal Mortgage. All of that, it's like they are all leaving town. Okay, the contest.
At the same time.
The contest is that this is midterm of President Tinubu. By May 29, there will be celebrations up and down. But the crowd that is going to London, I mean, all those people will go with assistants. So the explanation they can give is that, oh, they want to go and explain to Nigerians in the UK. Well, of course, we have, a large Nigerian community, including, present company, but
Adefemi Akinsoya.
oh, yeah, no, they know you're an American.
No, I mean, she's British,
she's
right?
British, British
yes.
Nigerian.
Yeah.
So maybe to explain and engage Nigerians in London, where every little thing somebody will go and protest. Every little thing there will be a street protest.
Yes.
But the size, the scale, and the timing of it, and the design of this, what appears to be a jamboree, is what we question.
Absolutely. I mean, Dr. Abbati, speaking about, officials going to London and the street protests, which you are absolutely right, because on Monday,